For those of you used to the older versions of Autocad where the command line is actually locked to the bottom of the Autocad screen, you'll see the command line down here at the bottom of the screen now is movable. Click on the little grey area there on the left and drag, and you'll see the screen update. So as I move now, I can park the screen wherever I want to. You'll notice as well it is transparent. You can set these transparency settings in here where you customize it. So you've got input settings, so you've got autocomplete, autocorrect, search, midstring, and so on. These settings are very different to the older command line that we used to have. Lines of prompt history, if I click on that, I can change the amount, and notice it comes up on the command line, which is very clever. I'll leave that at 3 and just press enter there. I'll click on the little spanner again now. Input search options. If I click on that, I can go in and set all of my search options for the command line. I've got autocorrect on and off, remember corrections, list delay time, 300 milliseconds, everything. I can set everything I want alphabetically, frequency. It's quite an incredible setup now, and it's been thought about in depth by Autodesk to make the command line a very valid tool while you're using AutoCAD. You would have thought by now, with things like touch screens, iPads, tablets, and so on, we wouldn't need something like the command line where we actually have to put text and numerical input in. We still have to use it though. When we're using certain commands in AutoCAD, we still have to type variables. We still have to type numbers of objects, for example. So that is how you set your search options. I'll just click on cancel there so I don't change any settings. I'll go back to the little spanner again now. Transparency, if I click here, my transparency options. So at the moment, how transparent should the command line be? I've got 70% opacity, which is the default setting. So basically that's taken me from 100% opacity, which is solid, towards the clear setting here. So I'm 30% transparent, which is more than adequate most of the time. How transparent should the command line be on mouse over? Now what happens here is you can set it that when you roll your mouse over the command line, it will be, in my case, solid, because the slider bar, as you can see, is right at the end. To move the slider, just click and drag, and I always leave that at 100% opacity, and I'm going to OK that and show you why. Because then, when I hover over the command line like that, you can see that it goes solid, so that I can click there and perhaps type in something like the line command and press enter. And as soon as I do that, it'll obviously kick in with the line command and ask me to specify the first point like so. I'll just hit escape there to cancel that. Those settings are just on that little spanner icon there, so I can go in and set all those settings. Again, just to lose that menu, just hit escape on the keyboard and it goes. Now, docking it is just as easy as undocking it. I click on the little grey sort of speckled area there and drag, and as I come down, you'll see it lock on there. That locks it to the status bar at the bottom of the screen. If I click and drag a bit further though, you'll see the ghost image appear when I come down towards the bottom of the screen. There it is there. If I get it there and release, it just automatically docks it at the bottom of the screen to fit the bottom of the drawing area. So you can see there that the command line is extremely useful now. It used to just be this line of text locked at the bottom of the AutoCAD screen. It's now much, much more sophisticated. Something else you can do as well. Let me just go to the line command. If I click here and come into the drawing area, it asks me to specify the first point of my line. So if I click here now, like so, and drag my line across, you'll notice when I click, I'm getting the commands on the command line there. So I've drawn my first line segment. But now I can come down to the line command itself here on the command line. If I click on undo there, the undo actually works. So I can actually click on the sub-option settings in the command on the command line. That's been a new feature in the last few versions of AutoCAD. It's extremely useful, saves you having to right-click to go to the shortcut menu, saves you having to type, in this case, U for undo, and press enter. I'll just press escape there to cancel the line command. So the command line, again, a very, very useful piece of kit in your AutoCAD toolbox.